Just inside the 45.
The tackle made at the 44-yard line. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the Vikings' 44-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Rodgers. Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. To throw, it's Rodgers. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 11. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. Well, he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Here's Cousins. And the catch made by Johnson. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 39 yards there, a big one.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Cousins on target to Diggs. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down.
First down. First and 10 at the 17-yard line.
SOS.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Throwing, Cousins. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Olabisi Johnson, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away.
The Packers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
55, mark, 55. Check the outs, check the out, check the out. Check 20,
From the gun, it's Rodgers. He goes full extension, and he's got it. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well.
17 yards. And the Packer first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. 18.
They'll run on first down. It's Jones, and this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 41-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Check, 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 check.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Gun. Stay. Hey, high 7.
Now Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On first down, Cook. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
On second down, Cook. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Cousins now from the 50. He finds his man Johnson. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
To throw is Cousins. Letting one go deep, and that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away.
The Packers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On second down now, it's Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards the 2-minute warning. Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain, the next 2 to 3 seconds to continue to move people.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now a first down throw complete downfield. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be a second down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
It's complete to Diggs. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. Now Cousins. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. And And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Third and long for Cousins.
You ain't doing nothing today.
And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Out of bounds at the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 8.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's second and 2. A final shot before half for Rodgers. Airing this one out for Evans. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zadarius Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season.
They need a stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Cousins now. And Diggs has it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 21 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Brings up second and 7 at the Packers' 31-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's second and 7. Here's a second and 7. That went into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
First and goal at the 3-yard line.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And it's now 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away.
The Packers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another first and 10.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Check 40. Hey, check 26.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick, and he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up first and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Looking deep down. He's got it at the 15. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Olabisi Johnson with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and it is 28-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away.
The Packers take over first and 10
Let's go.
at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more.
He's got it at the 15. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play there. Rodgers to Adams. 63 yards. Rodgers now to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Check. Yeah, Liz.
To throw is Rodgers. To throw again. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is third and
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. Cousins and the Vikings with a first and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They start the drive with Cook. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, it's Cook. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
They're trying to show you they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Watch number 33. Hey, Charlie. Single slot. 50's the mic. 52.
Operating from the gun. Costello. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. But he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away.
The Packers take over. Let's go, baby. At their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. And down to a knee. Well, that's one option. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Pulled in at the 24. Stephon Diggs, and he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. An impressive punt return of 76 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And they take a knee.
Rodgers on the keeper.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Everyone's got 4 down.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Rodgers on the keeper. That is
Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. It's taken to the 26. Can't ask for much more than that. A 50-yard punt followed by a loss on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, 76 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they will take a knee here. Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 20. We are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Cousins, that's complete to the receiver, Thielen. Takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there. Cousins to Thielen. 53 yards. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Cousins. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Gonzalez to add the PAT. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Now, after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today, coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And they take a knee.
Rodgers on the keeper. A loss of a yard on the play. And it's third down.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was that